Hello, and welcome back to Stream On. I am Hollis. With me is Eila. How are you, Eila?
I am good. I am ready to talk about Jayne Mansfield. What did you know about her before this documentary? I'm jumping right in today.
I love it. Both feet. Yes, we're talking about My Mom Jayne, the documentary on Jayne Mansfield by Mariska Hargitay, her daughter. I knew only that she was a sex symbol. I knew her from the movie Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter. And I knew her in the pop culture idiom. She was decapitated in a car wreck, which probably isn't true.
It isn't true. She wasn't. Her wig came off, and that's how that rumor got started.
Right.
She was not decapitated.
Right. But she's always been one of these characters in, like, the Hollywood Babylon books and all these kind
Yeah.
of things that, like, it's she has kind of a schlocky legacy. And that's one of the reasons that I love that her daughter did this documentary.
Yeah.
It's to kind of take her image back, or at
Right.
least give the right image of who she was.
I didn't know anything about. I knew, movies. I knew big boobs. I knew
Hmm.
the car accident, and that she was Mariska Hargitay's mother. Really, that's it. That's all I knew about her. So
Yeah.
really nothing.
I am a big fan of hers, and I was a big fan of, well, I collect cheesecake records,
Oh, you do?
and it's this glorious period in the 50s and 60s especially, where gorgeous cover models were on these album covers with songs by orchestras. So actually I'm going to tilt for the visual.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and there's a couple of Jayne Mansfields on the wall.
Oh,
For
really?
just for just our YouTube people, I will put close-ups of her album covers on there. But yeah, people like Betty Page, Jayne Mansfield, just gorgeous models who had nothing to do with the actual music half the time. So anyway, Jayne, you could buy her photographs because there were a million freelance photographer shot sequences of her just like in an apartment, lying on a couch, reading a book, playing a record. She did the rounds like a lot of aspiring actresses at the time who were blessed with gorgeous good looks. But there was such an intellect inside that package.
Oh
And
my God.
that's
That was never portrayed before.
never portrayed.
Right.
Or if it was almost played for laughs. They'd have her playing the violin or playing the piano on Steve Allen. The sad thing is, the documentary kind of goes into it. There's a number of years of her on the ascent and doing serious roles. And then there's just like a wall. And then from that point on, you could tell everything she did was for the money.
It's that Marilyn thing, though. She just became like a second rate Marilyn. And, she wasn't the only one. Like I heard that Kim Novak, too, was, a
Hmm.
backup Marilyn, just in case. Everyone was so afraid that Marilyn Monroe would get out of control.
And they were right about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, England had Diana Dors. And even here in America, there was one that was in a more overt sexual type, which was Mamie Van Doren.
Right.
But yeah, they were always looking for the next Marilyn or the poor man's Marilyn or whatever Marilyn.
I wonder if Jayne wasn't blonde, if she would have had a very different career.
Yeah, well, I mean, her blondness came out of a bottle, like most,
Right.
like Marilyn's, who
Yeah.
was like strawberry or whatever. Yeah, the fascinating thing is there's so many photographs early on of Jayne, just as this brunette housewife or brunette child, playing piano, doing her acting studies, almost the Norma Jean years for Jayne.
Right.
And one wonders, almost like in Hollywood, you always wonder, oh, I heard this guy was up for this part, but the other guy got it. Like there's a definite path that is laid out in the beginning of this movie of where Jayne could have been, serious roles and this and that, but
Or even a musician.
even a musician.
I had no idea she played violin.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tragic, but at the same time, we're talking about her. How tragic is it?
Right. I mean, she had a great career, and maybe, I don't know, only a handful of people get to even have a career like that. So,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time when I'll cover like rock bands of the 60s or whatever. You have these guys who put out genius work for 3 or 4 years, dead at 27 or whatever. And I'll put those 27 years up against other people's 80 years.
Yeah, I know. Some of those one-hit wonders, those one hits pay for their whole lives. That's not such a bad deal. I take it.
No, and I think they'd take it too if you laid it out in front of them.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think Jayne had a tragic story, but she certainly had an interesting story, that's for sure.
Right. We have been talking about what should we do, and I just happened to mention a few documentaries that we had talked about. One, the Barbara Walters one that you suggested to me, and I watched it, and it was fantastic.
Oh, good,
And
right?
another one on Ms. Magazine that I
I
just
watched
watched.
that last night. That was fantastic also.
Fantastic. There's so many good docs out, but this is on the heels of, I think a couple of episodes ago, I told you I watched that Led Zeppelin documentary, and it brought up how I was like, authorized biographies suck.
Right.
You want the unauthorized, you get the real unvarnished. But I'll tell you something, this being by her daughter is as authorized as you can get. And she did not shy away.
Shy away. She exposed.
Yeah,
Like everything.
she leaned into family secrets, controversies, all of that stuff. And it's the better for it. But also I
Oh.
think they're the better for it, the family.
Well, Mariska says, now she feels free. She feels like a different person.
Yeah, and this had it all because it has everything you want in a by the numbers documentary. It also has a twist.
Who even saw that coming? I know.
Yeah.
We should say what so there are going to be spoilers. So let's talk about
Mhm.
the twist. Would you like to take the on?
Well, the big twist is that Mariska's father, who for years and years and years everyone knew was Mickey Hargitay, the bodybuilder,
Up to like 2 weeks ago.
up to 2 weeks ago, uh, he is not actually her father.
Not her biological father.
Oh, very much her father. No,
Yeah,
I
right.
absolutely. The person that loves you, support you, and raised you is your father.
Right.
And thank God for him,
Oh my
given what
gosh.
happened.
And he wouldn't even, he would not even acknowledge that she wasn't his biological daughter. He was that committed to her.
And how great is that in a world where it's a real thing, where some people are like, I'm not going to raise that kid. That's not my kid.
Right.
He embraced her,
Yeah.
and not just embraced her when she was alive, embraced her when she was in her mom's stomach.
Yes. Because he didn't have to. Right.
Yeah, or uterus, I should say.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
mom didn't ingest
We
her.
understand biology.
Yeah. I didn't really do well in biology. So Mariska, aka Mariska, if you're American,
Or Maria.
or
Or
Maria,
she has many names.
she goes by many things. She is the love child of Jayne and a lounge singer of Italian descent who Jayne spent a short weekend with in Palm Springs and then went to Italy with him.
Right. Just sort of on a whim.
Sort of on a whim. And I found this fascinating, Eila. This guy, I'm like, please be alive. Please let us meet him. We do. And he says that on the precipice of them getting married in Italy, she said to him, if I were to leave you and have sex with another guy and have a kid by him, would you take me back? And he's like, what are you talking about?
That was it. Deal breaker.
Deal breaker. Yeah, I don't think I want to get married.
Right. It wasn't that it happened. It was the question.
It was a hypothetical.
It was happening with him. He was the other guy. But what a strange question to ask.
I don't think he knew it was happening.
He didn't know she was pregnant?
I don't think he knew she was pregnant. She wasn't showing.
No, but I thought that's why they were getting married, no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, this is the Hollis James version. I believe that they were very much thought they were in love. It was a whirlwind thing. They had been having sex on the regular. They go to Italy, his home base. They're about to get married. She drops that hypothetical on him. He's like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, forget this. She goes to America. goes back to the guy who pretty much answers that hypothetical question in
Mickey
reality.
Hargitay, yeah.
Mickey Hargitay, he takes her back. She starts developing and showing and does an interview with Mickey by her side when she's very much pregnant on TV. They have Mariska. Everybody thinks it's their child. And from then on, the Italian guy is not mentioned
He's
except
just
by her grandmother.
right. The grandmother knew. But I think the guy knew. I think he knew because he wasn't surprised. And she said, you know, why didn't you get in touch with me? Why did you wait for me to get in touch with you? And he said, you know, your life was already set up. I didn't want to interfere. So he knew that she existed.
Okay.
And it is. He did know.
Wow.
Which makes his decision to, you know, step away even more dramatic.
Yeah. And also, when you meet up with him, he's got 2 daughters and they seem to have had a great life.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of love there, you can tell. And seeing Mariska with them, they're very much like sisters already.
Yeah, she's one of them at this point.
So it's kind of sad in that, would Jayne still be alive? Would Jayne whatever? But
who knows, right?
Who knows? But she made some really toxic decisions.
She was desperate for love, it seemed like.
Yeah. But also I think some of these choices of male partner happened to coincide, or didn't happen to, but coincided for a very real reason, with her career kind of hitting the skids.
Mm.
You know, and I think she got with certain guys thinking they could help her. One guy was like a director, another was a producer, right? It was like something like that.
Yeah.
And they were abusive and
Right.
alcoholics and all the rest of it.
The first one she married as a teenager because she was pregnant.
Mm.
Was it 16, 17? Very young.
Yeah. His name was Mansfield, right?
I think, yes. I think
that's where she got it.
Yeah.
And I had grown up thinking, wow, what a cool made up name. Like Mansfield. It's such a great, but it was simply her first married name.
Yeah.
It's tragic, but somehow this documentary pulls something great off in that Jayne Mansfield seems a little less tragic to me now.
Because we know that she was smarter than we ever imagined.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that she had control of her life to a certain, as much as a woman could in that situation at that time.
That's a good disclaimer because it's such a different time.
Yeah.
It's a time when you couldn't get a checking account if you were a woman without your man's okay.
Which is insane.
Insane, like nuts.
Didn't that go into the 70s?
I believe so.
Wow.
The early 70s at least, yeah. And this is on the heels of us seeing the Ms. Magazine documentary.
Yes.
Like we're armed to the teeth now with like anger for what Jayne had to put up with.
So odd.
It is odd. And also, it's a compliment to Jayne as much as it's a dig that she's constantly compared to Marilyn. Like Marilyn was a brilliant actress, very smart, iconic. Jayne shares a lot of those characteristics. And there's one part of Jayne's story that I think would have Marilyn switching in a heartbeat to change places with her. She had a family. She did the whole, I'm an icon, I'm a sex symbol, but I have little kids and I'm a mom and that's important to me thing.
Right.
And Marilyn didn't get to have that and she was dying for it.
Right.
She had the shitty husband thing.
She did.
But she didn't have the kids.
The husbands were great.
Right. But Joe DiMaggio was terrible. Arthur Miller was a monster. Fuck those guys. But Jayne at least had the kids from the guys, and Mickey Hargitay seems like a great guy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, devoted to her.
So she wins in that column. She
definitely wins in that column, but you know, history isn't kind to that column, but it doesn't matter. You know, what struck me is that the documentary is as much about Mariska Hargitay as it is Jayne Mansfield.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes a lot of sense. And her family too. You know, her brothers are featured in it, these new sisters. It's really interesting. It's just, but so the grandmother though really raised Mariska Hargitay, not Jayne Mansfield as much. That's odd to me. Don't you think that that's kind of odd?
I don't know how much she was there. I think she was there at least for like a year or something. I don't know that the grandmother had her full time. I think once Mickey and his like next wife were in the picture, I think very much they had all the kids.
I think they did, but I think that
Yeah,
Mariska did live with the grandmother full time
she did. And
at some point.
the grandmother, in only a way those old world, not old school, but old world grandmothers can do, she said something like, I'm all you have in this world,
Yeah.
which is what in the documentary sets the hook for the twist
Right.
that she
Right.
has a different dad.
Although, I mean, she did have brothers and sisters. Well, brothers
Oh,
at that point. So the
yeah,
grandmother was being a little dramatic.
I know. The grandma, see, and that's what those old ladies from that time wanted. They just wanted to steal the kid and run away.
Right.
But
Why? I can't
yeah,
imagine.
but how much do you love her siblings in this? Like,
Oh,
they're good people, salt
they
of the
really
earth
are.
people. And that one brother saved her life.
Yes.
And she thanks him for
Literally.
it. Literally, because the
They
car
were,
accident happens.
they were there in that car.
They were in the back seat. And then the brothers and the other, they're all in the hospital. And the one brother is like, where's Mariska? And they're
Right.
like, who? She was still trapped under the seat, like on the floorboard of the back seat.
Could you imagine? It's amazing that she doesn't have trauma from that now.
It's amazing what she managed to build
Yes.
career wise and family wise after
Yeah.
all of this. But I would be shocked if there wasn't residual subconscious trauma, and I think that fed a lot of the movements in her life, and where she went and what she did, and even getting into the business. Her siblings went running in every other direction from the
I know.
business.
It's so interesting because they find a Golden Globe. Remember at the end, they find her mother's, and they said, you should keep it and put it with yours. And not one of them seems to have any twinge of jealousy, nothing. Everyone just is so supportive of her career.
And I was marveling at that moment because I'm like, I would think anyone who's not in the business would be like, well, you have
Right,
one of us
exactly.
should have this for mom.
Right. But no.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And her husband too is also an actor. And, he's in this a little bit, but, also very supportive, very loving, very, very much part of that family.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm very impressed with the job that Mariska did directing this.
Is this her first time as a director?
As far as I know, it is. I hope it's not her last. I hope she does other things because it's great, but I think it is her first. I should
I mean,
probably look that up.
it's a very personal story, so I don't know that she'd be as connected to any other project, but she certainly has a lot of potential.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see any other directing things for her. But I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't direct some episodes of the show she's been on
Yeah,
forever.
right.
Law and
Sure.
Order.
Yeah.
Uh, One of the impressive things about this directing job for me is I've seen other similar documentaries by the children of people, and it's like wall to wall them on camera practically. And here, the focus never leaves Jayne.
Yeah.
She's in it just enough, Mariska. Likewise, her siblings. There's a wealth of vintage footage of Jayne behind the scenes as well as in movies and stuff. And I love that this didn't devolve into a clips show of like all of Jayne's recorded works in TV and movies because there's a ton of them.
Yeah, but right, but that wouldn't hold my interest in the way that this did.
No, Mariska came to prominence in a time before we were throwing the word Nepo baby around. She built a career and she didn't come out like Mariska Mansfield. She was Hargitay. She came up and earned everything every step of the way.
It wasn't so obvious that Jayne Mansfield was her mother. She doesn't obviously look like her, though she does resemble her, but
Yeah, the nose and the eyes, I can see it kind
yes.
of.
But,
But
she's dark haired, which is great for her because it just, it takes her in a whole different direction.
yeah,
Um, so, and, she said she made a point to have her career be very different from her mother's. She plays very different. Well, her most famous role, Olivia Benson, obviously, on Law and Order, is very different from anything that her mother did.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like Mariska Hargitay isn't necessarily, like on the tip of everyone's tongue, but she's had a more successful career than almost anyone working right now. Because how long has she been on SVU and the star of it?
Yeah. I mean,
The
I
only
think,
person, I think, to be from day one to now on that show.
yeah, I think the late 90s, like maybe
Yeah.
99 or something. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's almost 30 years. It's amazing what she has done very quietly, too.
very quietly. And I put it to you, it's much harder to be a working actor than a megastar. I
Right.
mean, once you're that big, there's machinery behind you that just pushes you along, and you could do 5 movies and be the biggest person on the planet. But to work every day and being in television too, like to build that kind of career, I think she built a career her mom would have aspired to,
Yeah, probably.
you
And also
know?
her show, it's not like 10 episodes and she's done. It's a full season of episodes. That she's a worker.
She's a worker. That's a great compliment for an actor.
Oh, absolutely. For anyone, I think.
Yeah, yeah, true. I think one of the great things about this, we always think like, oh, how did this documentary affect everyone watching it? I think Mariska did like a real service to her siblings. I see them getting closure on camera, which is very satisfying as an audience member. Like, because I think her eldest brother at one point said, I've never talked about this, Mariska. I'm going to talk about it now, and then I'm never going to talk about it again. Ask me anything. And I'm like, oh my God,
No.
please ask him everything. Like,
Right.
and even after that, there's not a ton that comes from the siblings, but what they give is choice. She knows what to put in and she knows what to leave out.
Yeah, that's the smartest decision, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, one brother was very much like that, but the other brother was just like an open wound. Your heart just went.
Crying.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ugh.
I know.
And then we learned so much about about Jayne's family. Like we learned that there was the daughter from the previous marriage.
Right. That's another shock.
And she and her, like, there's so many great shots of Jayne in the years of black and white photography into color photography, of them just like while Jayne's career is on the ascent, her eldest daughter is just with her for that ride.
Yeah.
And so she's a wealth of information.
Yeah, she's great.
She's great. And she looks like Sue Mengers, who I
She
love.
does. She
She's
does.
just like this, she's pretty and she's got the big glasses and like a caftan, and she's just holding forth with all of this insider information about Jayne's.
Very different from Mariska Hargitay.
Very different.
So we have to talk about how I know we're harping on this, but it's very fascinating how Mariska found out that her father was not Mickey Hargitay because of a fan.
Great.
I mean, this fan of Jayne Mansfield, like a mega fan.
The head of her fan club, I believe.
Oh, okay. He asks her to get together with him, and she agreed to, which no one would do these days, probably. But she agreed to meet with him, and then he just threw it out there. And then he realized she didn't know about this guy. Was his name Nelson?
God, we got to get his name right.
Yeah,
Nelson Sardelli.
you both got.
Sorry.
Okay, so he asked her about Nelson, and then he realized she had no idea what he was talking about. And then she saw a picture of him, and they look so similar.
It's great. I love too that she tells this story, and this guy who they showed a picture of him, and he just looks like this delightful young kind of
Right.
character who's very campy.
Right.
Yeah, and he immediately tries to walk it back. Oh, I'm sure it was a rumor. It was just a rumor. And he realized he dropped the bomb on her.
Right. You can't put the toothpaste back.
No. And I think it hit her so hard for a couple of reasons. One, just like what? But the other thing is just on some level, I feel she always knew.
Really?
I really do. I feel like It wasn't just that she was hit with this. I think she was doing the math in her head from what her grandmother said, why she was left with her versus the other kids. And children of adoption always say this, like there's always something missing.
Mhm.
There's a question mark even before they find out they're adopted. Like I really think that it just hit her like a ton of bricks.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine? Just like the closest people in your life have been lying to you your entire life. That's got to
Yeah.
change everything, just shake your foundation completely.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know. Obviously they thought they were doing the right thing for her, but that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It really is. I love that this documentary, I was going to say let you down, but it didn't abuse you. It didn't take you in one direction, then slam you against the wall. Like
Right.
we could have met this guy and he could have been a dick.
No.
Or she'll be like, so I went to Italy and he was dead.
Right.
Like
No, it
it,
delivers.
it delivers.
It gives you him. You get a lot of him. You get the whole family. It's so good in that
Yeah.
respect.
And he's great because he's just like, he apologizes to her. And then at the very end, he says, I wish Mickey was here because I want to apologize to him. And one of his daughters says, well, in a little while, you're 88, you might be able to do it in person.
It's so funny.
So funny. What a great way to end it. It's just, oh,
I have to say that even with all this turmoil, Mariska Hargitay had four pretty amazing parents. She had Jayne Mansfield, she had Mickey Hargitay. Then Mickey's second wife was amazing, was another mother to her,
great.
was a fantastic, incredible woman. I mean, she's still around. And now this second father. So
Yeah.
she's been very lucky in that respect. Some people have no parents, and she had four.
Very lucky. And just expanding on the stepmother and how great she is, there's a couple of things. One, you can tell how much Mickey truly loved Jayne by how much information the stepmother has about their relationship and about what went down and
Yeah.
things Jayne said to Mickey that nobody else knows and why they did certain things they did. And it shows you what a good guy Mickey is because he then shared it with her. Like, so I love that she is kind of a treasure trove of secrets as well. Like
And she kept the secrets. She respected that. There was no jealousy. I mean, that's a hard act to follow, Jayne Mansfield. But
oh my God. Yeah.
she seems like a really healthy, loving, nurturing person. Mariska Hargitay couldn't have done any better, I think, with the stepmother.
No, no, it's true. You see the pictures of them all in their little house together and laughing and the proof is in the pudding. You see the siblings and they're all well adjusted.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody had a right to be dead in 1983 from drug overdose, it's one of those kids.
Right. And they're all close.
Yeah. So 2 thumbs way up.
Huge, huge thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even cowgirls get the blues thumbs.
really, really good. So well done, Mariska.
Yes, excellent. We will be looking for your next project, even if it's
Yeah.
just Law and Order. I love SVU. I still watch it.
Absolutely.
Are you watching anything else? Have you seen anything else interesting?
I'm still plugging away on Stick. But I've been leaning into documentaries lately because I've been loving them. And what I love about a good documentary, and it's true of this, is that when you finish it, you feel like you read a good book.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like satisfied on a certain level. So I've been kind of sticking with those. But other than that, I've just been deep diving into my Kojak episodes.
I went through a Kojak phase. I had never seen Kojak. And then so a year or two ago, I started recording them.
This may shock you, but I had never seen Kojak. I was a big Columbo guy. I was a big Levinson and Link guy. So Columbo, Mannix, all that stuff I loved. But Kojak always seemed to me, I just remembered he was kind of a, broadly drawn character, the lollipops, the bald head, all the rest of it. I'm watching now and I'm loving it. But aside from the show, which I actually love, and it's a pretty gritty police procedural, and I think very accurate. it also, it's just this time capsule.
I was going to say the exact same thing. That's why I started watching it. And I just started watching Quincy for the same reason, but that is good.
Oscar Madison, MD.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. But Kojak, just a time capsule. It's NYC in the bad old days.
Yeah, right.
You know, he's driving past streets, and I'm like, if you turn right here, Kojak, Debbie Harry's probably walking up the Bowery. You know, it's like 76, 77. I'm like, so yeah, Kojak just loving the time capsule, and that it's like the Aberdeen proving grounds for young actors.
Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing everybody from John Ritter to Richard Gere to like all of these. It's fantastic.
I
So
should put that back on my DVR and start recording that again.
yeah, I'm watching on. I'm for some reason I'm addicted to Tubi.
Oh, well, Tubi's great.
Tubi's fantastic. I went through all the Hammer films, and I'm on Kojak now. But I know you have to put up with a bit of commercials. But for me, I actually like it. It's kind of, I have it on in the background. I feel like, you know, I'm back in years.
It's a little
child years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just enough. Anyway, so we'll talk off camera about what we're gonna bring next, because we can never decide on camera.
Very hard.
Yeah.
I was watching something that I thought was going to be something I would suggest, but I didn't like it very much. Sinners. I thought that, you know, it had so much hype, this Michael B. Jordan movie Sinners.
Oh, I don't know it.
Oh, it's a big movie. People, like, everybody was talking about it. I guess it came out about a month ago and it's already on HBO.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't love it.
Oh, so, well.
I didn't think it would be fun for us to do. So I'm not going to.
You're a little wishy-washy on it. Here's what we're looking for. We're looking for something we either love or hate.
Yeah.
If you hated it more or you loved it more.
Yeah, it's not. And it wasn't bad. It just wasn't for me. And it wasn't like, I didn't hate it to the point where it was fun to not like it.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to figure out the next fun thing.
We do. Okay, well, let's sign off here. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Go watch My Mother Jayne. Is that what it's called?
My Mom Jayne.
My Mom Jayne. It's really, really great. Great job by Mariska.
Great job, Mariska. Okay, thanks, Eila.
All right.